Hello and good afternoon guys, welcome to MK Convenience Brokerage. My name is Mohammed. In this video, I'm going to explain to you the basic of the Federal Information Worksheet in PROSERIES Basics. Now PROSERIES Basics is a tax software where we use for basic tax returns. There's two types of PROSERIES, there's PROSERIES Professional and PROSERIES Basics. I'm going to explain to you the Federal Information Worksheet in PROSERIES Basics. I'm going to show you what forms do we need, how everything is. I'm going to show to you the basics of the basic. The people that have not filed taxes for this year, I'm going to explain to you what you need. So, with all of you, let's get started. Once you open up PROSERIES, this will basically pop up. It's going to tell you the Federal Information Worksheet 2018 or 2019, 2020. It's the same exact format for all the four or 5 years, including up to the current year. Dependent information, earned income, credit information. You don't need to zoom in or anything right now since you didn't fill anything out, so you have to leave this blank for now. You just go over the basic pedigree information such as the taxpayer's last name, the first name, the middle initial, the social security number, the occupation. The basic pedigree information will go over here. If they're married filing jointly, they will go over here because since they're married, they have a spouse, correct? They go over here. You go over here, it tells you the best contact phone number. You click on this, it will tell you which one they have. Obviously, if they have a phone number, you just put it over here. And then obviously that phone number, you have an option if you want to put that on their 1040. This is the address. Obviously, if they live in the United States, you will put the address over here. Now, if they have a foreign address, you click on over here, and just basically now they have a foreign address. Most likely people will live in the United States, and you'll have the address over here. You go over here again, these identification worksheet and everything, you don't need it. Well, once you start filling these parts out, the other boxes will start opening up. This is for 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Acts. The system will automatically put it no. You don't need it unless it applies to you, then you put it yes. Doing this for single person. If you are single, then obviously you don't need anything else. But if you're married filing jointly, then obviously you go on top and this will become red, because you're doing married filing jointly. But if you're single, then you do not need that. Once you start filling information in, this thing becomes with error. The Federal Information Worksheet, it tells you that there's errors and everything. For example, the first name, last name, I didn't put it in. It tells me it's an error. This is the errors and omission. It tells you like if there is an error, we're gonna try to help you out. So keep that in mind. This is very, very, very useful in PROSERIES. If you see errors, you cannot e-file anything because you have errors, which means that the IRS is going to find errors. You don't want that. So keep in mind, go with this and just make sure everything is corrected. Going to part 2 of the federal filing status: single, married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household, qualified widowers. If you click on head of household, obviously you have to show that there is a child that lives in the house. You are claiming that child. You are the head of household, meaning that you control everything. You bring in the bread, butter, and everything in the house, and then we go from there. That's what the head of household basically means. If you don't, then you cannot claim the head of household. Common sense. Married filing separately is for people that have been divorced. Taxpayer did not live with a spouse at any time during the year, or taxpayer eligible to claim spouse exemption. Depends. So, obviously, you have other option. Qualifying widower if the taxpayer's spouse would have died. And obviously gives me the tells me that the errors that for example the social security number, the child's social security number must be entered. You do need a child. If you're married filing jointly, you had a child, your spouse died and everything, you need to know the child's information and everything, and it keeps giving me these error telling me that I have to fill it out. But obviously we're not doing all that. Oh, come on, man, give me error. I'm gonna go back to single. Since we do not have that, we don't have to fill this out. So as you can see, it becomes green again. This part right over here is if you have a person that you're claiming as a dependent. It doesn't have to be a child. It could be any person. For example, it could be uncle, aunts, anyone that's living in your household. You're claiming them as a dependent. That doesn't necessarily mean that's going to help you in your tax return. That just basically means that, this is what it is. You basically put their basic pedigree information as their first name, their last name, if they have a middle initial, the social security number, the relationship. You click on the box, it tells you all these relationships. Click on whichever one applies to you. The date of birth, the date of death. If let's say for example you had a child that passed away, you could claim them on your 1040. But keep that in mind. You just have to make sure everything's correct. The age, the earned income credit, the dependent person protection pin, Basically, what this is a lot of times taxpayers have been a victim of crime, and if they have a protection pin, you could use that as to put it in the thing. For example, let's say if I was living in New York State and my identity was compromised, the identity protection pin, the IRS will send me every year a pin, a 6-digit pin. That 6-digit pin is supposed to be used on your tax return. Basically, you need that to file your taxes. Without that, you can't file your taxes. So you need that 6-digit PIN. Keep in mind that's very, very important. If the taxpayer lived with the United States for more than 12 months, obviously you put it over here. If they have any education and tuition expenses, you need that over here as well. The code, it could be dependent child who live with clients, and education and tuition fee expenses automatically goes over here as well. Then obviously you can see this becomes red. So, but obviously we do not have a dependent child. You can put no entry, and this is 0. So obviously this I just want to show you for the sake of just showing you guys. Anything that I don't go over is either not important or not really related to you, but it could be or could not be. Just follow your guidelines. What you have to do, okay? Is taxpayer or spouse qualified child for another earning credit for another person, which is you? Are you qualifying for another person? Yes or no? Again, this is something that does not apply to you, but I usually, if it does, you obviously just click on the boxes. This is paid preparer information, which is you. You click on it, your information should pop up as a tax preparer. Your EFIN number, your PTIN number, your New York State number, your federal, the identification number, everything should pop up over there. So keep that in mind. File federal return electronically. File state or city returns electronically. Automatically generate PIN equal to the last 5 digits of taxpayer. You can just do that over here. This is the IRS protection pin that I was talking about. So people could get it. Your children could get it. You could get it, depending on who's filing taxes. So keep that in mind. You just put the pin over here. You don't put the pin over here, you file your taxes, it's going to get rejected by the IRS. The IRS is going to ask you, where is the pin? You have to show something. You do not show anything, you're not going to get the pin. Go on the bottom, electronic file of extensions and amendment returns electronically. If you want to do an extension or amendment returns, obviously you have to do that over here. You fill this part out if you're doing it, obviously. If not, then you leave it blank. This is the pay by refund option, meaning that you can take the money from their client when they're getting paid. I usually don't do it. I just collect money from them up front. It's usually much easier. This is the direct deposit. This is basically if the client wants to get money in the direct deposit. If you do not click that, they will get a check at the address. Electronic funds withdrawal options. Use electronic funds withdrawal or federal balance due options over here. This is basically what it is a lot of clients want to get paid up front beforehand, so this is like a program and everything. I do not usually touch this. Most people don't even ask this, so I don't even tell them about it. This is audit assistance and ID theft restoration. If those people want audit assistance program, or if they think they might be prone to more audit assistance based on their complicated tax return, then obviously you can check this box and you should fill out these 2 additional boxes. It's usually $10 per month, which is really good, not that bad. But if they ask them before they want it, don't give it to them if they don't want it, because a lot of times people do get pissed off, even if it's for $10. This is the option if you want to do. Usually the computer, you don't have to touch any of these options unless you want to bypass the computer. This basically means that if you're filing the, let's say, standard deduction and you want to bypass it, itemize the deduction, you can do that as well. So automatically it will bypass it. And obviously you can see it's not, it says federal tax due. But if you don't want to do it, since you don't have to do anything, don't even touch it. Can taxpayer be claimed as dependent of another person, of a part, such as a parent? Yes or no? Obviously, just for the spouse. Does taxpayer want to give $3 to the presidential election campaign fund? Yes or no? Is taxpayer a full-time student? Yes or no? For 2018, was a taxpayer or spouse, if married, non-resident alien for any part of the year and did not elect to be treated as a residential alien? Yes or no? Are you total and permanently disabled? Yes or no? This is basically basic pedigree information. You go over here, you go part year, non-resident, state return filing information only. This doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it, just leave this blank. And basically, that's your basic pedigree information. The more you stuff put in, the more boxes becomes over here. Either they start putting in the checklist, or they'll start, as you can see, if you look at the checklist, like it tells you, I'm using this, I'm using this. So the more information I start putting in, the more checkboxes starts going in. It's just telling me. And obviously, like I said, certain things becomes red. So for example, the identity verification worksheet will tell me that, what's the spouse's name, the driving license number, and everything. You do need a picture of their license. I would highly recommend having it. It will become red. I need to put the information in, and then errors will go down. So for example, if I put on 2011, as you see, this becomes 17. So I just put it in, and it just tells me what it is. Client status is a new client. Identity verification method is in person. Document used to verify primary taxpayer identity with the driving license, and just fill out the information, and that's it. That's your federal information worksheet. Now obviously, if you go on general information, it tells you general information. You click on income. This is all the forms that are income. Each income you use is going to tell you. For example, this is the W2 income. You just have to put down the basic W2 income, which I will show in another video that in depth on how to fill out the W2. This is the 1099G. I will show you another video how to fill this out, because it's a lot of information. I just want to show you the basic. I will go over it step by step with the W2 and 1099. Deductions. If you do have a deduction, everything will pop up over here. If you don't, then obviously you leave it blank. This is a credits. If you are getting credits, usually this person is single, you're not going to get no type of credit. Taxes, obviously, again, if you are getting some type of underpayment of estimated taxes, whatever, computer will generate automatically based on the return. Payments will be over here. Federal final review, like I said before, and basically that's about it. That's your federal information worksheet. That's how you fill it out. Again, it's simple. Taxpayer, last name, first name, middle initial. Again, you fill out this basic pedigree information over here, the date of birth, the email address, and everything. They should tell you. If they're right next to you, then you fill it out. If they are married filing jointly, then you fill out the spouse information rather than going at the bottom. Start filling it out. You ask them what's your best contact phone number. Then obviously you put the work phone, and it's become, like, let's say I put here 1, and obviously this is the best. Well, the computer is telling me this is, like, the computer will actually tell you. The system will tell you that this is invalid. So this is one of the best things about PROSERIES. It's going to tell you exactly if this is valid or not. So let's use 718.222.2222. Now, see that? Now it's saying it's valid, even though it's invalid. But the other one, it was completely telling you that it's messed up. So basically, it is really good. The system really is good. So I've obviously, like I said, I never filled any of these parts out and everything. But this is how you basically fill out. Again, if you're doing married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household, qualified widower, all that information is over here. So make sure you fill out everything properly, okay? Again, if they have dependents, you put that down. If you don't have anyone, then just leave it blank. You don't need to fill out something that you don't have. So other than that, everything else is basic pedigree information. The third-party designee is basically if you want to be, as a taxpayer, represent the person. If you want to discuss information with the IRS and everything, you can do that. If you click on this, your information will pop up over here. So keep that in mind. And obviously, this is you want to file this electronically. This is the electronic filing of tax return information. You want to file this electronically, and you want to file the state or city returns electronically. And obviously, your states will be over here. And everything else is obviously basic pedigree information and everything. I obviously went over with you with this part as well. Electronic filing of extension. For those people that want to file extension and everything, you could do that as well. It's up to them. If they want to, if they don't want to do extension, this is the pay by refund option. This is the direct deposit option as well. But this is what it is. With that being said, that's about it. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, PROSERIES is one of the best programs that I've used so far. I highly recommend it. Obviously, the reasons I'm making these videos so that if you do purchase a program, you can watch the videos, go step by step, and see what part do you guys need help with. If you guys have any questions, throw it at me. I'm going to try my best to help you out as much as possible to clarify any confusion you guys have. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.